TopLobsta Productions.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago, for we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day.
Welcome back. Good morning. And welcome to another episode of The Raven. Guys, I wish you could see what's happening right now. In the studio, there are 4 other people. Mason, Matt, and TopLobsta are all in here. Top wants to see the handiwork and how it looks. A little overexposed. I believe we can hear you, yeah. Look at your half of body is in the shot. Top just decided he had to run lights in here. I'm telling you, dude, this camera is too white. Anyway, guys, before we get into today's content, we're going to talk about Halloween. We're going to take some voicemails. We're going to play some viewer-submitted content. We're also going to open up the lines in the second half of the show to the call-in segment. We got to talk about where you can support the show if you want to support the show. Let's, number one, get that banner out of here. Guys, I figured out how to make the camera switch. So now you have 3 different angles of me, which is very important, and I know you guys are a big fan of that. So let's go in here real quick. Guys, patreon.com/Nephilim Death Squad. That's where you want to go if you want to support the show. And we're doing a lot of things over here. We have Nephilim Death Squad, Neph to America, NDS Chronicles, Straight Bible with Matt Hepner of the Standard Coffee Shop, which is where I'm coming live from, by the way. And also now The Raven. So we're hard at work, guys. We got a lot of things, a lot of irons in the fire, as it were. If you want to support the show, that's a great place to do it. Also, if you want to support me directly, at the bottom of the screen, you'll see at DavidCorbo7 on Cash App, on Venmo, on PayPal. We'll get around to reading the donations in the latter half of the show, probably because it gets really messy, and I'm not so good at math. You guys know that. How do we want to start this off? Well, I want to start off by saying thank you guys for being here, 9 a.m. in the morning. And unlike Nephilim Death Squad, this show does start on time, which is very important. And that's something that it's a line of delineation, a line in the sand that I drew. And I said, when I do my own show, I need it to be on time. And the reason that I do that is so that you know why we're late. It's not because of me. It's because of somebody else. And I'm not going to drop any names, especially because he's standing in the corner of the room, and they're both just standing here in the studio on their phones, disrespectfully on their phones. What are you guys doing? What's so important that both Matt and TopLobsta are standing in the corner of the studio, whispering to each other? Matt with 3 T's. Don't mouth nothingness at me. Anyway, guys, I guess we'll jump straight into. I have a little bit. Oh no, we have to talk about Halloween. Happy post-Halloween, late Halloween. We're post-coitus now. In the wake of the Ween is the name of the episode. And I don't know, I figured I'd just tell you guys a little bit about what we did, which was not much of anything. I told you before we left on the last episode that my son was going to be dressed like Captain America because he wants to be possessed by the spirit of Captain America. And everybody knows you dress like what you want to be possessed by. Guys, I really wish you could see what's happening right now. Don't you have a coffee shop to run? What are you wearing? What's on your feet? Are those Skechers? Go ahead, Top.
Does this mic work?
It is working.
Okay, good.
That's all you wanted? You just wanted to see if the mic worked? Guys, Mason really wants to come on the show. And Mason works here at the coffee shop. And she... No, I didn't. That's not an invite, Mason. Don't you have a coffee shop to run?
Okay, yeah, I actually do for a second.
Yeah, and she just really wants to be on camera. She wants to be in front of the studio lights. She wants to be in front of the people. Very arrogant. And I go, well, what are we going to talk about, Mason? Name 4 things. She said road rage, drugs, and then she ran out of other things to talk about. So I don't know, chat, if we're going to have her on the show. It seems like she really just wants the limelight, which I don't think for a young developing woman is a good thing psychologically for them, to get them in front of the limelight, to get them in front of the spotlight, put a mic. It's crucial developmental years. And I think that putting her on the camera would derail her. But yeah, so we We did the whole Halloween thing. We did a trunk or treat, actually, which my wife was very adamant, there you go, that we do this trunk or treat and that we're part of it. Like, it's not just like we're visiting a trunk or treat. We have to be part of it, which is a huge pain in the ass because then I have to decorate my trunk. The trunk of my Elantra that rarely starts, by the way. Like, it's not just, you know, pulling up to a spot. It's like we might not be able to leave this spot, which is very embarrassing. Like when we wrap up the trunk or treat and I go to hit push to start, which I hate, by the way, because at least with a key turn, you can prime the engine. You know what I mean? You can sort of get fuel flowing through the system if you just turn it on. But with the push to start, it's all at once, which is very agitating. And so, you know, you're wrapping up at the end of the day and you're going to push the button and you're praying that you don't look like an asshole in front of all your neighbors because we're doing this in the apartment complex. So very embarrassing. I don't know why she's so adamant, but she likes to be a part of community things. So I think that's nice. I don't know. Middle camera needs a white balance adjustment. I know. I told the top, and he goes, no, actually, it's good. I go, it's visibly not good. I can see that, and he refuses. Okay, he's doing it right now. That's why it's trembling. Let's see what happens. I think I just became more orange. Anyway, I hope you guys had a good Halloween. That's all we did. It was pretty cool. We sat in that little lineup, and everybody decorated their trunks, and we had a good time, and lots of chocolate was handed out, which is my thing, is the chocolate. I'm a big chocolate guy, and which is fantastic because my son is only into he's only into like sort of, you know, the sweet fruit flavored kind of candies, and so he actually offloads all the chocolate to me anyway, which is fantastic. I want to start by looking at this video here. What's going on? What are you doing? Oh, he's changing it so that it Top just bought these lights. He's very excited about the lights. I think they're wonderful. I think they do a good job of making the studio pop. But he's stood in the corner right now. Atma says blue is good. He says he really likes the blue. I like the blue too. Between the intro music and camera, what's going on? What are you doing, Mason? What's happening here? Now I can't switch it. I'll have to manually switch. Hold on a second, guys. All right, this is camera number 2. Let's get this dialed in real quick. No, that's not. Don't do that.
Nah.
All right, Mason, what's up? What do you want?
Nah.
What do you want? What do you want to talk about, Mason?
La la la. Am I supposed to hear myself?
You probably have to plug those in order for her to hear herself.
They're plugged. La 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 la.
All right,
la.
well, Mason, you don't have to hear yourself. It's unimportant.
I can hear myself anyways. I talk loud enough.
Okay, so what is it that you want to talk about, Mason?
I want to talk about.
Go ahead. No, it's fine.
Touch the mic.
Don't touch the mic. Don't put your mouth on the mic. That's
It was
disgusting.
an accident.
Plenty of people have come in here and they've put their mouth on that mic, and now you're gonna have to brush your teeth.
I want to talk about how I road rage today.
You road rage today. Chat, she wants to talk about how she road rage today. How old are you, Mason?
I'm 20. I'm 20 years old.
You're 20 years old and you're engaging in road rage. And I was saying to you before the show started that road rage is a young person's game. And I would say that because she hasn't learned a lot of valuable lessons, which is people get aggressive. What's so worth road raging over?
You're in the okay. Here's my philosophy.
It's a left lane thing.
You're in the left lane.
Yeah.
Get out of the left lane.
Well, what if you're then there to go fast? You got to pass people.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you're in there to go fast, I need you to be going either speed limit or we're going 5 miles over minimum, okay?
That's reasonable.
If you're not, sorry, I got places to be, cracks to wipe, okay? I'm going to be on your butt.
Cracks to wipe. Mason, did you ever think about the fact that we live kind of in this area where everybody is 90? Everybody's 90 years old, Mason. They don't have the same pace, the same fire that a 20-year-old has. What about lending them some grace? Chat, are we lending grace to 90-year-olds that are, on the road still?
The left lane is for crime.
The left lane is for crime. Who said that? Zach. Yeah, I hear you.
It's the left lane. If you want to go on a Sunday stroll and you want to be scratching your butt, get in the right lane or get off the road. You don't need to be driving.
That's very rude. What do you have going on, Mason, that you have to go fast?
I just have my day-to-day life. Like, it's just, I have the, like, I just, like, It doesn't matter if I'm going home. It doesn't matter if I'm going to work.
Okay.
Work still. I hate. Well, I mean, before I started working here, I really like hated. Like, I'm not even just saying that. Like, I really hated like working.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No, I would still like book it to work. No, I love working here. If I didn't.
Okay. Well, no, just working in general. I accept that. You know what I mean? If you're a younger, when I was younger, and I guess I still do, which is why I do this. I also hated working. Just having to be someplace that wasn't, where I wanted to be.
Day long. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But like, I'll literally like, even if it's just going to work, like I'm still at lead foot. I don't.
You're
know.
speeding?
Yeah.
How many tickets have you gotten?
Okay, so.
Wow, you have gotten. No. I've never. I don't think I've gotten a ticket for speeding.
Well, no. Okay, so I got a verbal warning in a lecture on calm driving and to not reckless.
Okay, this is a problem.
Yeah, to not reckless drive by a state trooper. And then he also too. This was only 2 years ago. Then he called my mom and told
rightfully
her,
so.
Yeah, and told her, listen, your daughter's got a problem.
What's going on, Mason? This is there's another issue here. If the state trooper is recognizing that you have a problem, they're going to call your mom and they're going to say, "Listen, you need to counsel your daughter because there's some deep-seated rage issue." Where's the rage coming from?
I just have a temper. I just have a temper. I've had it my whole life. My dad's side has an infamous temper, and then my mom's side has an infamous temper. It's just.
Why don't you find a way to? Why don't you find a way to channel that temper into something constructive? Where you should be doing jujitsu or maybe it's like a striking sport like boxing or
it a different way.
Yeah, into riding the bumpers of 90-year-olds who are on death's door.
No, it's not. No, if I see an old person, I relax on old people because I'm not a monster. Okay? I'm not a monster.
All right.
Okay, I relax on the old people. But like this morning, okay, this was a young girl.
Does this happen every day?
It used to. So I had my boyfriend told me to get to like he wanted me to calm down, and then.
Your boyfriend said it too.
Yeah.
No, don't read the chat. They're animals. Don't look at the chat. So your boyfriend. Now we've got a state trooper. Your mother's counseling you.
Concerned. Yeah. He was like deeply concerned for my safety.
Yeah, because this is an open carry state now. It's not even a conceal and carry. Now we could just, and you're just yelling at people. Yeah. Earlier when I'm talking to you, you're going, it's like you said, it's not old people. You said actually it's kind of country, redneck guys. And the way, and I got to tell you, when you're explaining to me the way you're interacting with them, you use the expression rage bait. And then when you described it to me, I would say that's an accurate description. It is rage baiting. You're trying to get a rise out of people.
It's not always rage baiting, but like if they piss me off enough, like this.
Seems like you're easily pissed off.
Yeah, like this morning, this girl, she was in the left lane. It's a 55, okay? That means it's a 60 in my books, okay? It's a 60 in my books.
Okay.
She was literally going like 45. No, not acceptable. So obviously I'm running her butt.
Yeah.
She tries to brake check me.
Oh, no. That's not good.
My car will go up on its front 2 tires before you get me with a brake check.
Yikes.
I'm not the one.
Jeez. Look, doesn't she have this thing like she wishes somebody would? That's what it is. You have an I wish you would kind of energy about you. It's very dangerous. Very dangerous. What is it going to take for you to lose that edge, all of that rage that's bottled up inside you? Are you going to have a bad experience where something goes wrong? Or do you, is something are you going to reach a certain age where you calm down? Do you have any plans to stop this madness?
No, 100%, because I literally just had a scary experience.
Oh!
A couple of weeks ago when I got ran off the road by a big
you told me that you got ran. Dude, I don't understand how you're having this many negative, traffic experiences.
That one genuinely wasn't my fault. So you say that. No,
Hold on a second.
No, that one genuinely wasn't
what we
my
just
fault.
heard, guys, everything she just said, this was genuinely not her fault.
No, this one wasn't. So this work van kept blocking me in, and I was actually calm. I was practicing calm driving this morning, and I wasn't riding
You were practicing calm driving. Okay.
I wasn't riding his butt.
It's okay. You could say ass. I don't know if you say ass, but you know what? No, never mind. Don't say ass on this show, please. No, come on. All right, continue the story.
I do. But did you?
She says ass on this show.
But
She's got no respect.
Booty.
All right, that's permissible.
I'm wearing a
Go ahead.
necklace.
Yeah, don't say ass while you're wearing a cross. All right, so please continue. You got ran off the road because of your bad behavior into a ditch.
He was blocking me in, and so I was just like, whatever. I'm just gonna let him. Like, I'm just gonna wait until I get an opening.
Yeah.
So then I got to.
Just really quick, there's 100 people watching, so.
Take it easy. Well, actually, there's a lot more people because it doesn't count Twitter.
No, not take it easy. What I mean is like.
Yeah, just ease up a little bit.
No, like.
Did you see when you told her the count? Look at her eyes.
Do better.
She got nervous.
Do better.
All right.
Well, no, the only
Don't look at the comments.
No, the only comment I thought was funny was, I'm about to order a coffee so that she can get out of there.
Oh,
In your
yeah.
face, in your face.
Yeah, they're very rude people. They say rude things to me too.
In your nightmares, Scott. I saw
No, don't.
you.
If there's anybody you don't talk to, it's Scott. You don't talk to Scott. So okay, so you get driven off the road. You're in a ditch now.
I waited because I was like, whatever. This dude's like, he's annoying me. I was like, whatever. I'm not gonna be.
He's gonna kill you.
Yeah. So I was like, whatever. I'm just gonna like wait till there's a gap. So I waited. I did wait till there was a gap, and so I started to like there. It wasn't like a little slight. No, like it was enough.
A sizable gap to get in safely.
But I also have a compact car, so I don't need that much space.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are you driving? But we don't need anybody to know what you're driving.
Yeah,
Don't say it. Don't say it.
It's a compact car. It's not a huge.
Okay.
It's between a hatchback and an SUV.
Okay.
Size.
Don't even do that because they'll find you.
Yeah, no. And so like I saw the opening and I went to go in the opening and I don't know if his like intention was I'm gonna run her off the road.
Yeah.
Or if he was trying to like get out of my way. But so and I have my blinker on too, as I'm getting over in the left lane, he started too. So it just, and because he was in a big work van, it just took me right off the road and put me in a ditch. I was fine.
I want you to see this right here. Mason Redbeard says, as a father, please calm down and stop fucking with people for your safety. Very important, Mason. Very important.
I know. No, I genuinely, as hard as it is for you to probably believe, I genuinely am working on calm driving because I am aware. I am like, jokes aside, I do know at the end of the day, I am like literally playing with fire.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
And people are crazy.
I used to host a show. It was called TLC Timeline Cleanse. And on that show, it was a submission-based show. And I would say to the chat, submit whatever you want, and we'll just play it on air. And what ended up happening was the most popular type of content was just physical violence, altercations, fights, deaths. And
yeah.
I got to this point where I had seen so much that I had to like step away from it. I didn't want to do it anymore. But the amount of road rage fights, and I think it's pretty understandable. It's like you're dealing with multiple tons, in some cases, vehicles, and the slightest, mishap can end in somebody's death or a tremendous accident. Certainly, at the least, a big ass bill.
Well, even like he damaged my car, putting me off the.
Oh yeah, what happened?
It wasn't crazy bad. Which he stopped too, and I fully could have gotten his information, but because I was like, I had adrenaline going, I was like angry, and then I was also too.
Don't read the chat. Don't do it.
No. I was thinking of my words.
Okay.
I am a girl at the end of the day, and I did start to angry cry. Okay, and so my eyes started watering.
Yeah.
So when I looked at the spot that he hit, I couldn't see damage because there was like tears in my eyes.
So he actually did hit.
He did. Oh yeah. No, he could have. Looking back, like I said, all jokes aside, I do know it's dangerous. He could have. He probably almost flipped me if I'm being honest.
Dang.
Yeah, and he just messed up. He just messed up my fender a little bit and like popped it out. Yeah, that angry cry is vicious, dude.
Yes, I know the angry cry.
Yes.
I've seen it. I know.
And I just had like adrenaline, dude. I just had so much going, but like, so it was fully his fault. Like my dad's an insurance agent. I talked to him about it. He's like, yeah,
Dude,
like,
your dad's gotta be freaking out. He's an insurance agent. He knows how these things go. Does he know that his daughter is a rage monster, or does he know that you have this angry streak where you're constantly? She's looking around the room right now as if she's trying to get out of it, because I feel like I just touched on something very specific. Does Dad know that his daughter is filled with rage?
Yes.
Mason, you got to work that out, dude.
No, I am. It is something like I said, I am working on it because I get myself and really, it gets to the point where like a cop will pass me and like someone will try and wave them down.
Because of you?
Yep, I have people that feel the need to roll their windows down and like say things to me.
Yeah.
Gestures at me because it's so bad.
Gestures? What sort of gestures? They're giving you the finger.
Middle finger.
Wow.
They're just like they'll just be like saying something and they're just like talking with their
Yeah, they're giving you the what the fuck hands. They're like, why are you jeopardizing all of us?
And I used to instigate that, and I would like look back at them and I would rage bait them back.
Mason is the whole problem. Mason,
I am the problem.
People are not on your side about this. This isn't good.
I'm fully aware of it. I know that I have I've gotten multiple lectures from cops, okay?
Jeez.
Like I've gotten a verbal warning. I've only gotten one speeding ticket.
Well, look, this is what I'm going to do. Chat, if you will, Nephilim D Squad. And this is specifically to the dads out there, to the moms out there, to the parents out there. I need you, if you have any words of wisdom, any sorts of maybe lectures or reprimanding, you could send those words to nephilimdsquad@gmail.com. And I think what I'll do is maybe every other week or so, we'll have Mason back on the show, and we will go through the emails from the parents who are upset with Mason's behavior, and we'll read them to her live on air. So if you guys want to do that, nephilimdsquad@gmail.com. Submit your words of wisdom, because something needs to happen here. Something needs to happen here. This is a disaster waiting to happen, Mason. And I think that what we can do is we can help this process along a little bit. We can, every once in a while, we'll bring her on and we'll go, is this really what you should be doing? And then you can listen to some of these other people and what they have to say.
Someone said I need a decommissioned police car with a push bar. Get me that.
No,
right
that's the last
now.
thing she needs is
Give me that right now.
She doesn't need a push bar.
Also, too, the ways that I'm seeing people spell my name, I have never seen in my entire life. It's Mason.
I think they might be doing it because
I'm a girl.
No, because I have I suppose I have an accent that I don't perceive. And when I say things,
you do have an accent, by the way.
Well, I know when I say coffee, I have an accent, but otherwise, I don't think I have an accent. But maybe when I'm saying Mason, I've got like there's something in there because I know they're spelling it. Yeah, there's like a Maey something. All right, look, Mason, get the hell off the show. Go back and take care of these people that are trying to get coffee. Matt's here too. Jeez, man, unbelievable. Hey, Matt, just so you know, we're starting a segment for Mason, and what that is the chat is going to submit emails to nephilimdsquad@gmail.com, and it's going to be words of wisdom to help Mason with her serious road rage problem. And they're going to talk her down. They're going to explain to her why it's a bad thing to engage in road rage, why it jeopardizes the safety of other people. He doesn't even care.
Because I'm aware, but I do, like I said, I'm working on the problem, but it definitely needs a lot more work, and I definitely need a lot more.
No. Get her off the show, Matt, with three T's.
He said I could stay.
No, Mason, all right, you know what?
I have some questions for you.
You have questions for me? Go ahead, Mason.
So.
Okay.
If you were a mermaid, what color would
Oh
your tail
my
be?
God.
Why?
Mason, mermaids are Nephilim hybrid demonic creatures, all right? I wouldn't be a mermaid because they were probably the only variety of Nephilim that survived the flood.
Actually, I was going to say, I forget that you guys do conspiracy theories. Do conspiracy theories.
She said doo-doo.
And I'm immature.
Wait, you said it. Go on.
You threw me off track.
You said that we do. You forget that we do.
You
Yeah.
do conspiracy theory stuff. Because when I'm here, I just see like the Bible-ness.
Yeah.
Do you think mermaids exist?
Yeah, I do. I do think that mermaids exist. I've seen some videos.
Like the way that you would see like people perceive them like in movies.
Well, they're like sirens. Yeah. So they're I think that before the flood and after the flood, there were all kinds of chimeric creatures, which you actually can see pretty obviously if you look at the Egyptian pantheon, because they're all half animal, half.
I was going to say chimeric is half
half and half of anything.
Yeah.
So you can make a chimeric thing like I believe a chimera in Greek mythology is like the head of a lion, the wings of an eagle, the tail is actually like a serpent, like a snake. Maybe that's a griffin, but either way, yeah, it's just a word that talks about conjoining things unnaturally. So yeah, I think that they are real. And I was watching a video not long ago. Some of the chat might be familiar with this. It was like a guy on a oil tanker ship, and this thing is boogieing out in the ocean, and he's looking out at night into the water, and there's something that is keeping pace with the ship, and you could see its wake that it's leaving in the water. It's very small, maybe the size of like a person, but it is keeping pace with this ship. And then there's this haunting song that's like playing through the night sky out in the ocean. And so I've seen a lot of stuff, and I kind of go, and what's actually interesting is here, maybe we could put this on the screen. I have like this, and look, I'm going to preface this with, I think this is likely bullshit. But we're still going to play it. You don't have sound in your headphones, right? I don't think this video has sound either, but that's okay. We're going to show this to the chat, and we'll show this to you. So this comes from Bronze Giant, which is a popular page on X, on Twitter. But he says, I believe they still exist somewhere. And look, in the age of AI, things are really wonky. But this is a fun one.
I'm really upset about the AI I've fallen for.
I think this is likely bullshit, but it is fascinating to see, because what it does is if it is AI, it still can give your imagination a little sample of like what it would be like to see something like this in the wild. I believe this is an actual griffin. We were just talking about something similar to this, so let's let it rip. I think it's bullshit,
Yeah.
but imagine it's fun.
I was gonna say, I think that's fake too, but if I saw it in public, or like if I saw it like in real life, there would be some shit in my pants.
Yeah, that would be a real heavy one. I don't know. I mean, there's this whole thing that was going on recently where the accusation is there are deep underground military bases. Are you familiar with that idea?
Oh, like that the uppers have for like if when the world ends, they have somewhere to
Yeah. The upper class, the 1% of the world. So the idea is that they were creating all kinds of horrifying creatures, subterranean creatures, chimeras, like we said, and there was a program that was feeding them, and that program, I forget what it was called. It's like the Meals on Wheels program or something like that, which is kind of funny. And this is all highly speculative and likely bullshit, but the idea was that they were trafficking humans and feeding them to these chimeric creatures. One thing led to another. That source dried up. Some of their big hotspots of trafficking got popped. And so eventually they released supposedly these creatures. Most of them, the deep underground military bases, are in national parks. And that I do think is probably true. There's a lot of subterranean crap going on in national parks. Oh, yeah. A lot of missing people in national parks. If you look at David Polite's Missing 411, which is a great series, I recommend checking that out.
There's like also like a lot of places people aren't allowed to go. Like,
yes.
Very limited.
Yeah. So you get this idea often that people are going missing there, and it creates this whole big conspiracy. But since the alleged food source dried up, they, this is all air quotes, released these chimeric creatures because they couldn't sustain them anymore, and they're now in the national parks. So something happened where the national parks were flying the flag upside down. The conventional explanation was that employees in the national parks were saying, hey, we're understaffed and we're working in dangerous conditions. The conspiracy theory was like, no, there's more than that. This is actually because there are these chimeric creatures surfacing in the national park. So, could it be that what we just saw was one of those things? Highly unlikely, but I leave room for it. I don't know. I think it's kind of fun.
I think it's definitely fake, but it's not. I'm not saying it's completely like out of the picture. There's definitely. I mean, only like I know it's not ocean animal, but only like 5% of the ocean's been discovered. Imagine what freaking creatures are.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you're aware of this, but all the UFO crap, they're now switching their idea of where the UFOs are coming from, and they have it on pretty good authority because of radar and a lot of military surveillance that these things are actually coming out of the ocean.
Oh, My mom,
Sorry, go on.
She is fully, I can't escape that. She is fully like convinced that there's aliens but they're not like here to harm us or anything.
She's messing up, man.
You know what I'm talking about? It's like on TikTok.
Okay,
it's
so is the idea of like the Galactic Federation of Light?
Yes,
Damn, I'm good.
Yep, it's them.
Yes.
The Galactic Federation.
So tell your mom that that narrative from the Galactic Federation of Light has been around for a really long time, and it's come from the aliens, which is more prominent right now. Before that, it came from ascended Atlantean masters, but it was the same exact thing. We need to ascend.
Is that like real? Do you believe that? Like,
well, hold on. So same information, right? Same story comes from aliens, ascended Atlantean masters. Before that, it's the Egyptian Ennead, meaning the 9 gods that ruled over Egypt, like Horus, Osiris, Isis, all these kinds of characters. So what's happening is it's all the same thing. It's the fallen, meaning the 1/3 of angels that fell, they rebelled and were cast out onto Mount Hermon. They have children with human women, and they give birth to the Nephilim. When the Nephilim die, their spirits are trapped here. So what you're actually interacting with, I believe, is these things that are a mixture of fallen angels and the spirits of their dead offspring, and they constantly change what they're willing to present you. So they'll go, oh, we're the Egyptian Ennead. And then they'll go, oh, no, we're the Ascended Atlantean Masters. Or they'll go, no, we're the Pleiadians, which is the big stupid shit from the Galactic Federation of Light. So, tell your mom that if she is interested in learning about that, all she has to do is just look back throughout history. Who's been telling us we need to ascend? Who's been telling us we need to avoid a worldwide catastrophe that's coming? And who's been telling us that we're being ruled by evil elites who are preventing humanity from, evolving spiritually? And she will find that it's been there forever, especially starting really heavily in the late 1940s. And it just takes a different face every time. What do you look? What? Don't look at the chat.
No,
don't look at the chat.
Someone.
They say horrifying things.
Well, no, so it's funny. No, I like a lot of them are like mad, and it's funny.
No, they're not mad. They just talk crap. These people are
yeah,
here.
I think that's funny.
Yeah, it is funny. But they're here and they're the homies. They're always here in the chat.
Also, too, someone, I don't know if it's true, but someone said my mic was low. I don't know.
Your mic was low.
Yeah.
It's probably for the best. Okay, Mason, you got to go now. All right, I got a show to do, and
what are you
I
gonna
don't
talk about.
I don't know
How funny I am.
41 minutes.
How
We're gonna.
funny I am, how smart I am.
We're gonna play probably some voice memos, and then we're not gonna talk about any of those things, Mason. And then we're going to take a little break.
Someone look
Look at your long arm. What are you showing me?
Oh, I unplugged my headphones.
Unbelievable, Mason. What are you doing?
Hold on.
Good God!
That one.
Don't look at
Meigihon.
Mason's boyfriend says don't look at the chat. Yeah, they're terrible people, but they're. What are you doing, Mason? You're just standing there, guys. Also, the chat doesn't know this. Mason is 17. Whoa! No, don't look. Come on, Mason. You got to go now. All right, the people are getting inappropriate. You're distracting them, and you're making them say horrifying things. Thank you, Mason. And until next time, when we reprimand you with all of the emails that we're going to get about your behavior. Next week.
I will have a lot of calm driving experiences to talk about.
Well, I doubt it, but that's a good. She says next week she'll have a lot of calm driving experiences to talk about. I doubt it, but it's a good place to start. You have to start with intention, right? What are you doing, Mason? Don't read the comments. Look, everybody's saying bye. Bye, Mason. Measion. Don't know. That is. That's a Q. Your comments are unappreciated. Q is a long time. He goes by whoop your baby mama's hoe ass, but that's the buddy Q.
So, like that, like I guess the way that people are spelled.
Yeah, people spell your name all kinds of different ways, Mason. All right, go back and operate the coffee shop. Thank you so much for forcing your way onto my show. Until next time. Until next time, Mason. Well, good. You go help. He doesn't work here. Good God. Guys, what the fuck was that? You know what I think we need to do is we have this 20-year-old chick who thinks she's going to come on the show and she's going to get in the limelight and people are going to like her. And instead, I think we need to bring her on the show and reprimand her for her terrible behavior. Her terrible behavior, because it is terrible. Road rage is no joke, and she's going to end up really hurting somebody. I got to, hold on a second.
How'd that go?
Yep, about as horrifying as you could think. Blap Juice says, bless her heart. Yeah, I mean, no, we're not going to watch blacks fighting. We're not going to watch blacks fighting. Let me see if we have anything, any viewer submitted content. If you want to submit content, what's my name on Twitter? At David L. Corbo on Twitter. And we'll have some time to play a couple of videos. Maybe let me go and check real quick in the messages. I think we had looks like Not Nice Guy. Okay. Oh, and we have Q. Q sent some stuff. Very hesitant to click on it, but okay. No, Atma sent some stuff a while ago. Let's see what this is. Oh, interesting. This is funny. So this comes from Atma. And this is looks like a fake, and he knows this, a fake 3-Eye Atlas. What the flip is going on here? Did we do your submission Wednesday night, Emily? I don't think we did. I don't know. I don't remember Wednesday night. It's a fever dream. It's a fever dream. This is too. There we go. That's a little bit better. Jeez, man. She gets paid in Robux. Yeah, she's just a kid. Redbeard says, I forgot what 20-something cocaine energy looked like. Yeah, man. High energy, super intense. Not good. No, she's all right. Mason's all right. 7 feet tall, though. 7 feet tall. Okay, let's go here. Let's see what this is. So this comes from Atma. This is a fake 3-Eye Atlas update, and it's going to be brief, but it's going to open up the door for a little bit of a larger conversation, so let's let her rip. 3-Eye Atlas NASA update today, real. Very funny, obviously bullshit, and I'll tell you why I like it, because what's going on lately is this really big misinformation campaign. I don't know. I wouldn't call it a campaign necessarily. Maybe that's getting carried away. But 3-Eye Atlas is we're just being saturated with bullshit, with fake videos left and right constantly. And I don't know, for the listener who's not on X and maybe whose algorithm isn't tailored to psychotic crap like mine is, I wish you could see the amount of lies surrounding this thing. You know, what's his name? Avi Loeb, the Jew, the wizard. By the way, getting to talk to Owen Benjamin last week was a lot of fun, and How to Slay the Wizard, I think, was a great, or How to Kill the Wizard, a really great sort of learning lesson for people. I hope people saw that and got the message, you know, about this spell casting and this fear and the way they have to keep you under pressure in order to be able to sell you the lie and all these different things. I thought that was really cool. Abby being one of these wizards. And he said, what did he say? Oh, yeah, October 30th, we're going to be, 3-Eye Atlas is going to come by and it's going to release these drones that are going to look like UFOs to people. Didn't happen. Very gay. And I'm like, we knew that. But it's just amazing. Like, this guy was just on Rogan, right? And he's just telling Rogan, like, all this bullshit. I don't know. It's my understanding that Avi gets toted out in front of the public often to make a big hype about these celestial events that turn out to be nothing. And then we just keep letting them, you know what I mean? It's like the same thing with Fauci. I don't even know if I could say his name and not get taken off. You know, we're on YouTube, so I got to play it safe. But Fauci has run the same thing a couple of times in a row, hadn't he? If you look back to the 80s and you look back to in recent years, forgive my coded language, I'm just not trying to get terminated off of YouTube. But And this is a guy with this greasy ass track record, and we just keep rolling him out to the public. Avi and Fauci, very similar energy, no? JJ says, but you say that Rogan is the gateway to PsyOps, Raven. Yeah, I mean, I think that's true, JJ. I think that Rogan is sort of the new Laurel Canyon. And much of the operations, that are rolled out get introduced through Rogan. I don't know. It's just crazy to me that this guy can just continually come out. Avi Loeb, Harvard educated Avi Loeb, I don't know what the fuck his name is, can keep coming out and keep having this happen and keep being wrong to such a degree. Johnny Leach says, remember when you were riding Cliff's dick like the quarter outside Walmart hugging that tube meat? Yeah, I liked a lot of what Cliff High had to say, and I thought that I endlessly prefaced it with he is gay. Because he believes basically that we're going to be rescued by, there's good aliens and bad aliens, and he's just falling for the shit. But I think among the things that he's saying, there's a lot of sort of little gold nuggets that you could. Am I being loud? Is that what's happening? This is cool. So on the show, because we're in a coffee shop, I can open the doors. That's a good idea. Yeah, go ahead and do that. I can open the doors. Here, wait, it's not switching yet. Give it a second. I got to switch it manually. There it is. How cool is that? So if you come to the standard coffee shop while we're live, we wanted to create this open air experience, and we're going to continue doing that, by the way. We got a really big donation. I want to shout out Frank, and I want to shout out Chuck. A lot of money came in recently. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold that money straight into fleshing out the rest of the entire building. Lights, more lights. That's where the budget went. We blew the budget on lights. But we're going to create a situation where we can actually start to record outside of this studio in the actual coffee shop. And all of that to say, if you're actually here and you come by and you're getting coffee, you might just see us recording live, and we might just put the camera on you and make you super nervous. So yeah, I don't know. It's just fun, the Avi Loeb stuff. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Oh yeah, and just on the Cliff High thing, like I said, undoubtedly a gay man, but he's got some fun stuff in there every once in a while. Where's our Melee? Where's our Melee in the skies, Cliff High, you old faggot? I don't want to say it too loud. There's ladies having a Bible study out there. All right. Thank you, Atma. Let's get away from that, and we'll go and see. I got to see what Rick sent before I put it on the screen. Our very own. Oh, no. We have ANCAP Grizzly. By the way, ANCAP, did he have his kid? I don't know if he had his kid. Shout out to ANCAP. I think he's got a baby on the way, and he is. His name is Elijah. Okay. So shout out to ANCAP Grizzly. Q says it's not bad. Okay, well, we'll check it out in a second. Let's go and check this out. This is kind of weird. What is this? Christian Twitter. This is asking Christian Twitter, how do I become slow to anger? I'm easily frustrated and stressed. I'm very prone to anger. I prey on this often. What can I do to control this? I know I am commanded to do it, but I have no clue how to. Well, that's hard. That's a hard one. That's a really hard one. I mean, man, I know how I do it, but it's very anticlimactic. How do you control the anger? Because I tend to be a pretty happy person. I'll admit, I'm a little bit of a grumpy dad. I do care greatly about, my son's development. And so being as invested in it as I am, when you're that invested, you do get a little upset. So I have to sort of police that in my own life. But what I find, and I think a lot of people aren't going to like this answer, is you have to just let it go. It's a decision that you make. I learned a long time ago that happiness is a decision, as much as anger is a decision. So when I was homeless, I was, as you might imagine, very sad, very angry, lots of emotional extremes. And those emotional extremes got to the point where they were going to kill me. If I succumbed to those emotions, they were so intense that they would have killed me. And there was a point in my life where I was faced with that I had kept them at bay for so long. And then I remember I was in a car one day, passenger side, looking out the window at night, and I thought about it. I thought about leaving. And, obviously I didn't. I'm still here, but I had to make a decision. Right there it is. You have to make a decision. It's a decision. Happiness is a decision. Anger is a decision. I made a decision that I had to let it go, and whatever happened was going to happen. If I couldn't affect something in that moment, if I couldn't change it in that moment, if I had no power to change what was happening, then I had to let it go. I had to. It was either that or what? It's like, play it out. What's the end game of your rage? What's the end game with your sadness? And I'm not saying that you don't have a right to be sad or you don't have a right to be angry, but at some point you have to decide to let it pass, because if you play it out to its final end game, it all ends horribly. Your rage and anger ends in a place where it destroys not only you, but everybody around you. Your sadness, is it distracting, guys? The amount that it's switching? Here, let's just do that. Boom. No, boom. We'll do that. We'll do this one. Let's keep it there for now. I got to change the rate that it switches at. But yeah, if you play your sadness out to its ultimate extreme, it ends with what, you leaving. It ends with everybody around you being destroyed because of it. And so then you ask yourself, well, how do I keep it from getting to that point? You are the person that controls that. You're the person that controls that. So I've gotten pretty good lately at getting, I'll have these moments. There's a lot of anger in me for whatever. Road rage, maybe. And I've gotten really good over my life at letting it go almost instantly. So I'll feel it. It's not like I'm not going to feel it. But it's like, picture this. You're a husband and a father. And when your anger gets out of control, your wife and your child are subjected to you, a monster. You're a monster now. And look, we're all human. Sometimes you're going to end up doing that, but you got to get good at recognizing, like, oh shit, I'm the monster now. Everybody's afraid of me. Everybody's on eggshells around me. Is that what you want to be? Because I've been subjected to monsters in my life where I had to walk on eggshells because I knew that if I said the wrong thing, my stepdad was going to freak out or somebody was going to freak out or whatever. I've been raised by like a lot of different people throughout my life. And, some better than others. So I at least have that perspective where I can go, oh my God, I'm doing to my child and my wife what has been done to me. So you don't want to become the guy who forces his family to walk on eggshells. And the only person that's going to stop that, or the only thing that's going to stop that, is you. And that's a decision that you have to make. So yeah, I'm sorry, it's anticlimactic. But it's a decision. So when I was homeless, I decided that I can't succumb to the emotions and I decided to be happy. And it's like a muscle. And we'll depart from this after this. We'll take a small break, and then we'll get into the caller segment. It's like a muscle. When you start looking around at things to be happy for, you become better at finding things to be happy for. The same thing in the inverse. If you start finding things to upset you, and God knows at any given moment there are 1,000 things that can upset you, right? Anybody can find something to piss them off. Once you start finding them, you get better at finding them. You start training that muscle. Next thing you know, you're an expert at finding things that piss you off. Then everything starts setting you off. But you could do the inverse. What are you doing? You have to go? Where are you going? You got to be back here 2 o'clock. We're going to talk to Donut. Get out of here, dude. You've been working for him, haven't you? He's not been paying you. Top's been making coffee at the Standard Coffee Shop. If you show up, you wanted to hear, let's do this. Boop. If you show up at the Standard Coffee Shop, Top might just make a coffee for you. Good God. So aggressive. You sat down so aggressively.
Why does this microphone smell?
Oh, that's because Mason kept smashing her teeth against it.
Was she?
I think she needs glasses.
She's got large teeth.
I don't think she has like depth perception.
That's like an amygdala condition, like
a what?
So Abraham Lincoln had this. It's like giantism.
Yeah.
They're very big and they can't control their body.
Yep.
I was watching her make coffee. I was like, "Show me how to make some of these coffees," and she's like,
she's telling road rage stories.
"It's not good."
And I'm like, "Do you think it's okay to be that angry?" And she's like, "Well."
I was like, "You think it's okay to be this?"
I'm like, "What are you
uncoordinated?"
doing? Are you casting spells? What the hell's going on?"
Gotta go.
All right, well, get the hell out of here.
You're keeping me here. You got me on camera.
Well, you decided to do the labor of putting lights up, and
Isn't it nice?
And all that.
Wait up one more time. Show me. Look at that. Wow. Look at the.
I thought I was showing you. A little overexposed. That camera, man.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Stop, don't touch your hair.
Has anybody noticed the inconsistencies yet? Nobody.
Yeah, they said it.
What did they say? The over-under, they don't like it?
Oh, my God. Atma. This is such a banger, dude. He says, women don't have depth perception.
No, it's true.
Curbs lives matter. This is said by Curbs Lives Matter. Dude, my tires tell a story about my wife. And it's that she also does not have depth perception. She will plow into my wife has actually been really good on not smashing into curbs.
Girls have life on easy, but they do live life in a very skewed perspective.
They do.
They're very like I hit the brakes a little bit because the guy might have stopped short. My wife was like,
Yeah, oh my dude.
and I'm like, calm down.
My wife has to grab the handle, and it's so insulting.
And she gets mad at you.
She grabs the handle or she grabs the door handle, and I'm like, I've never been in an accident in my life.
Me neither.
Woman.
Oh, knock on.
This is press board. I don't think it's
That's fake too.
that's all fake. We don't have any real. Oh, the molding. So I'm like, where do you get off being afraid of my driving? It doesn't make any sense. I've never been in an accident.
Yeah, well, they're just very terrified creatures in general. But I'm studying them. It's interesting. I don't particularly like it. I don't like what I see.
No.
Not enthusiastic about it. Not endearing.
No.
It doesn't give me hope for the future.
Yeah, I think it's dismal.
Yeah.
It's dismal, but it's
I
accurate.
gotta go.
All right, well, get the hell out of here. Thank you for dropping by, and I will see you at 2 o'clock when we talk to Donut. What up, Donut? Very excited to talk to Donut. We're going to talk about the movie Weapons, so you have a couple of hours. Go home and watch it. Nah, it's okay. It's not a good show anyway. All right, so yeah, I don't know. Did that make any sense? My talk on anger. I hope that helped Grizzly, Dismal Bismal, Pepto Bismal. And the thing that kind of gets me about what ANCAP Grizzly is asking here about the anger is like, because the secret is not a secret. I don't know what there's no amount of information I'm going to depart on you that's going to cause you to have an epiphany. It's something that you just have to like internalize and realize. And I think the only thing that makes you realize that, hopefully if you're the type of person who can, like I was having this conversation with my son the other day and we were talking about like Nepo babies and how being raised in squalor can often develop one into a decent human being. And my son hasn't had to go through too much squalor, although he has gone through a little bit. But he said, does that mean that I'm going to be a bad person? Because I said, no, you're not going to be a bad person because you didn't experience the heartache, there are two ways to learn a thing. You can either go through it or you can recognize the wisdom of people who have been through it. And a lot of people aren't good at the latter. They're not good at taking advice. Some people have to go through it. I don't think that's everybody, though. I think one of the things that I understood pretty well and pretty early in my life was this concept of regret. And so I knew, not because of my own life, but because of the wisdom of other people. And even in shows, let's be honest, these kind of wholesome family sitcoms would teach you a lot, and I would learn from them as well, sort of family values or moral value. And I think I did a good job of internalizing that stuff because I wasn't raised by like one person, so it's not like I had a beacon of morality in my life. I had TV, which is horrifying. But one of the things that I knew was this concept of regret having less to do with the things that you did in life and more to do with the things that you didn't do in life. And so I knew at a very young age that I didn't want to be the type of person who sat on his deathbed one day and was sad about all the things that I never took a crack at, which in a lot of ways was the driving force for this. And what we're doing here now is because it's a lofty endeavor. Many people said on the way here that it was a stupid thing to try to do, and I rejected that. And I said I knew that if I knew that the regrets that I would have one day as an old man were more to be in line with why didn't I take a chance and do this? Why didn't I take a chance and do that? So that is to say, I think that, you can learn from the wisdom. Surprise! You can learn from the wisdom of other people and the lives of other people. You don't have to go through the rigmarole of suffering, although suffering is a great teacher. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Biggest Faux Hedis says, married with children hits so much clearer as an adult. Yes. All right, guys. We're going to take we'll get into Q. We'll check out what Q sent, and then we will take a pee-pee break. We'll take a pee-pee break, and then we will and then we'll get into the voice memo and the caller segment of the show after we play our schizophrenic intermission music, which I'm a huge fan of. Oh, this guy. What the hell is this guy doing? This is frustrating. I don't think it's going to be bad, but I know what flavor it's going to be. I'll tell you what. I can deal with a little bit of fatigue-causing content. A little bit. Just a little bit. And I think this is going to hit that. This comes from Q. Whoop your baby mama's hoe ass here in the chat. It says, I wonder why we haven't been visited by extraterrestrials. What are you doing, dog? I almost got to take the music off because I went copyright stricken for Many Men, which for a period of time was my son's favorite song. I may have made some mistakes. So this guy, for the audience who's listening, standing in the middle of the street, black dude, with his chest out, puffed out, and his arms, he's making his shoulders broad, and he's standing in the street, in the street, and a bus bumps him, which he's purposely trying to do. He's trying to get the bus to, and then when the bus bumps him, he turns to it like it's a dude that bumped into him in the streets, and now he's trying to fight it. He's trying to fight the bus. Yeah. Oh. This would be so much more fun with the music, but I can't do the music. This is crazy. This 500-pound man in a smart car with no door, letting his feet skid on the ground as he drives down the highway. Very nice. Oh, no. Why are we looking at this lady's butt? Oh, no. Ladies, don't do yoga in the park. Don't do yoga in the park. Who knows what this guy's up to? Crouching behind a tree and staring at you as you're in your yoga pants doing downward dog. Not good. Yeah, he's in the zone. Here we go. This has got to be Abu Dhabi or Dubai. We got a guy here, a Muslim dude, doing push-ups on the roof of his vehicle as it flies down the highway. They're always doing that. Oh, this guy's crushing. This guy's awesome. Dude, what is this? There's a guy sat at a bus stop bench wearing a backpack on his chest, and poking out of the backpack is the severed head of a mannequin. And he's making out with it. Yeah. I like that they blurred his face out. Sir, this is a public bench. You don't get your face blurred out. I want to know who you are making out with this mannequin head. Romance is not dead. All right, here we go. Wow. That is the strength of a torta. The strength of a torta. This woman is all of 4'8". This Mexican lady, some sort of an event, and she's got her husband or boyfriend on her shoulders so he can get a good video footage with his cell phone. That's love. I find this very endearing. Am I the only one? Torta tough. Thank you, Emily. Torta tough. I like this lady. She crushes. That's love. She's awesome. I don't know. I'm all caught up in it. I think that's awesome. Oh, no. Demon Hunter Bear said at least the mannequin won't nag him. Yeah, I mean, that's what it makes you kind of wonder about, once these sex robots get to a certain degree, what that's going to do to relationships. Amen, Rat. I like that Mexican couples are always the same height. Yeah. 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 You can see she's got sturdy legs. This chick, broad shoulders, by the way. Broad shoulders, sturdy legs, does not look like she's having a hard time at all. This is easy. Easy work. Light work. Oh. Yeah, I've seen this thing before. I kind of want to go back to that. If I didn't like you see this, right? This is me at the height of my boxing career. No, I would never have a ponytail. If I saw this thing, I mean, guys, hear me out. This is a man. I'm sorry. I don't mean to call it a thing. Here we have a man. I guess you would say it's dwarf height, but it's proportionately just a skinny man. Because dwarves typically have no neck. They're very stout. Halflings. This is not. This is a man who's been hit with a shrink ray. Excuse me. So he's all proportioned out. Now, hear me out. You see him in this setting, and you go, "Oh, this is a guy who has something's wrong. He's got, I guess, dwarfism." It's just interesting because he's very skinny and lanky. But imagine this: you're in the forest, and you see this, and he's moving like this, by the way, and he's covered in like leather armor. He's covered in leather armor, and he's sprinting towards you in the forest. Now, number one, I'm going to admit to you, I'd be frightened. If that was, because look at how fast he's moving. I mean, like, good footwork too, man. Not bad with the footwork. His technique, I'm going to be honest with you, big looping punches. Not a big fan of the looping punches. I'd like to see him throw some straight down the pipe stuff. Boom, boom, boom. But, dude, his angles, his footwork, he's light on his feet. His head's off the center line very often. He's very mobile. He's moving in a circle. Boom, boom. Look at that. If I saw that, I'm not mad at him, honestly. I mean, yeah, biggest forehead says one punt and done for sure. You can kick him. But if I saw that sprinting towards me in the forest wearing leather armor, I would probably run, because I wouldn't assume that it was a tiny man with dwarfism. I would assume it is some mythical creature, some elf, and I would say the only reason he's sprinting towards me right now is because he knows something that I don't, which is almost certainly spellcraft or something like that. What option does he have other than to be light on his feet? That's true. That is true, but that technique was solid. And I would say that, the lightness of feet could come from the fact that he's 47 pounds, but the technique, it was crispy. And, I've taught boxing. I know full-size men that can't get their technique down that tightly. Okay, yeah, Z-Man is awesome. Says, okay, leather armor is one thing, but what if that thing has fairy wings and is sprinting towards you? I'm horrified. Honestly, he wins the day. If I'm encroaching upon his territory, I'm getting out of there. Oh yeah, you want to teep kick it. That's definitely the move. But I wouldn't teep kick it. I would do exactly what Biggest Foe Hedis is talking about. I would teep kick it and run. I would not stick around. I would not engage in a combat scenario with this thing because there's no doubt in my mind he has a wand. He knows a spell. There are more than one of him. You know what I mean? 3, 4, 5, 6 of those guys. If you really had to, you take him out. 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of those guys? 10 of those guys. Oh my God. Q says if it's got a spear. 10 of those guys with a spear, and you are dead. I don't give a shit who you are. 10 of those guys with a spear. That guy looks like he knows how to throw a spear. A tiny spear. 10 of those guys chucking spears at you. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Eamon Rat says I could deal with 10 of those. No, you couldn't, Eamon Rat. Shut up. Shut up, Eamon Rat. You can't deal with 10 of those guys. You're dumb and you're a liar. You're dumb and you're a liar. Are we reaching the 1 gorilla versus 100 men territory? Kinda. Yeah, I mean, it's a similar question. G by Jonathan says, Raven, I know full-size men. How do you say you are short without saying you're short? That's not nice. I don't like that. 11 is the limit, though. 10. I don't know that I could take out 10 of them. If they had spears, even if I did, I think I'm bleeding out. All right, let's finish this video because I got to go to Pee-Pee Town and then we got to play our intermission music and we got to get back to it. This is funny. Just burning cigarette holes in this guy's shirt. He's ashing on his head. Yeah, I've seen good old boys like that in Georgia and shit. Hey, good recovery, guy. Whoa! This is Q. That guy doing the sit-ups at the gas station in the hood, that was definitely Q. He's the type of nigga to do that. There he goes. Bop, bop. Oh, there you go. Bicep curls on the motorcycle. Getting it at the stoplight. Oh, what the? Whoa, whoa. Look at the amount of titty meat this crab has gotten a hold of. Guys, I'm saying the craziest shit. There's like a gang of 90-year-old women right on the other side of this wall. This is crazy, though. I mean, the amount of breast material that this crab has gotten a hold of. And that's a big crab, guys. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Look at that tit. Why? Why are you doing that? Why are we doing that? Are these videos all from Florida? It feels like it. That's nuts, dude. That's nuts. Guys, after this video, we're going to check in on Cash App, on PayPal. We'll check for the donations on Rumble and things like that. Nancy just entered the studio. What up, Nance? Hold on a second. Let's, we're going to add her to the stage. Bloop. And then we're going to unmute her mic. Hey, Nancy. She's not awake yet. She just muted her mic. But after this video, we're gonna tally up some of the donations. We'll play some voice memos after the pee break. I got to take a big pee break, and then we'll open the lines and let the callers come in. So if you guys want to send some donations, at the bottom there, David Corbo 7 on Cash App, on PayPal, and on Venmo. Nancy added herself to the stage again. I don't know what's going on. There's 2 Nancys in the stage. This is crazy. Okay, we're gonna remove this one. And we'll add this one. Hey, Nance.
Hello.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
How come there's 2 of you on the stage?
I don't know.
Can I remove this one? That's right. We'll just leave it. All right, Nancy. Well, we're watching this guy get his tit squeezed by by a crab. Here we go. We're gonna pull it back, and we're gonna look at that. Look at this guy's boobs getting grabbed by this. That's a big crab, dude. By the way, guys, Nancy said some really fascinating stuff to me last time we talked. Maybe we'll get into it in the second half. Turns out every time Nancy has something going on, that thing that's going on is actually lucid dreaming. And Nancy spends quite a large amount of time in the lucid dream realm. All right, so everybody says good morning to Nancy. Guys, good mornings to Nancy. What time is it? It's 10:19. It's still morning. We're going to play a video, and I got to pee. We'll come back. We'll check out those donations. We'll get into some voice memos, and then we'll open the line. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about what Nancy was telling me the other day. Here we go, and we'll be back in 3 minutes. 3 minutes. We back. I went pee. And I feel a lot better now. So I don't know if Nancy's still there, but before we get into these donations, guys, at the bottom of the screen there, David Corbo 7 on all the platforms, Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. I wanted to talk to Nancy a little bit and or at least talk about, well, I don't know how much Nancy wants to talk. She's shy, guys. The fascinating things that she was telling me. So Nancy has this ability, it seems, and has had this ability for some time. And I wonder if anybody else in the chat experiences this, to lucid dream. Not something that I can do. Although I know there's ways to train yourself to do it. And so this is something that, comes up pretty often when you're talking about dreams. I don't have the button. And the spirit realm and things like that. But what was interesting is Nancy's done it enough that she was kind of telling me some of the strange things about that realm, that place, that dream realm. And so she was saying things like some people are there and they're watching you. Almost like it's their job or, what they're meant to do while they're there. Some people are there in this dream realm. She said something fascinating, like you would think the people in your dreams, what they're going to say, but not the case. she says if you go up and talk to them, they seem to like have a whole ass life, maybe even a job. Just this is just where they live. And I said, well, Nance, you ever go up to them and say, you know, you're in my dream? And she said, yeah. Some people are kind of interesting. They might even have like a mission, like a journey, like an adventure they'll take you on. Other people get pissy. They go, fuck you. I'm not in your dream. Stupid. Which I find fascinating. And then she goes on. She's like, you could do pretty much whatever. Which, you know, you guys could use your imaginations for all the horrifying things you could do. But that there are spiritual repercussions in this dream realm. And Nancy, of course, says she doesn't engage in any of that terrible stuff. But she did go on to say that she suspects that one type of character you'll meet in this dreamscape are the type of people that engage in all the horrible stuff and have all the heavy spiritual repercussions. And she says that person seems to not be able to like get up and walk. Deborah even keeps looking at the wrong camera. I don't know which camera. I have no idea. It just switches randomly back there. It's on auto switch. So this person crawls around almost on their belly. They kind of writhe around on their belly. Is that for me?
A customer named Mason, Meighson.
Yeah.
For you. Mason. Yeah. That's awesome, man. He gave it $10 tip.
Really? Thank you very much, guys. We are live from the Standard Coffee Shop, Standard Coffee Shop / NDS Studios. It's actually very official. And Mason, shout out Mason, Meighson in the chat. Let me bring the chat up so I could see. I know I saw your name before. Bought me a drink. I wonder what this is. Whoa, that's good. That's a problem. That's very sweet. That's very delicious. Some sort of frozen coffee yum-yums. And also donated to the shop. Thank you guys so much. You can do that. You don't have to do that. But we are live from the Standard Coffee Shop here in Lady Lake, Florida. And the other day, Scott called while we were doing a live show and realized he could pay for drinks over the phone. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for supporting the shop. And you know, it's a really big deal, especially to Matt. And I highly recommend to everybody. We have Dylan, Eric, Jason, Jordan. There's a lot of people that are just showing up to the shop regularly now that are fans of Nephilim Death Squad, found us IRL, and now this is their coffee spot. How cool is that? So thank you to Mason, spelled specifically Meighson. That's delicious. Scott says Matt was great on the phone. Now, guys, remember it's Matt with 3 T's. But Matt will, and this is a warning, Matt will, he loves people. And he will immediately treat you like you're his best friend. And, you know, if you're not a people person, man, too bad. Too bad, because Matt is one of the most people I think I've ever met in my entire life. He was made to run a coffee shop. He knows everybody because he's just one of the friendliest and warmest dudes around. And I find it disgusting. I mean, if it's your thing, it's your thing. But yeah, I just found that fascinating. So Nancy says that you know, one of these character types will be stuck on their belly. They can't walk. They can't get up. They just kind of writhe around. She suspects that it is because of sort of the spiritual heaviness of the sin that they've engaged in this realm. Isn't that right, Nance?
Yes.
Did I mischaracterize anything that you said?
No, you got it right.
Have you been lucid dreaming recently?
No, not recently.
Why not?
Because I've been slacking.
What sorts of missions? Can you tell me like at least one type of mission or journey or adventure that you went on with a willing participant of your dream realm that didn't scoff at you when you interacted with them?
I did go on a mission once to find like it's gonna sound bad, but like a dream guru.
A dream guru.
Within my dream who could teach me how to lucid dream every time I would fall asleep. And I could never find him.
Huh. Interesting. And what happened when would you interact with the person who was taking you on the journey and say, "Hey, how come we haven't found this dream guru?"
Well, I couldn't find the person who could take me there. I would go around asking around and people would just look at me funny.
That's interesting. You ever feel like silly? You know, when you're trying to talk to these people in this dream realm, and it seems that they all have their own lives, and they're not necessarily too concerned with you, or at least that's the way that I've come to understand it so far. Do you ever feel silly?
No,
Going up to them?
no, because I figure it's my dream, even though some of the dream characters might look at me funny. Like, I don't care. It's my dream. I can make you disappear if I want.
Whoa, is that a threat?
Well, yeah, I guess. But but I can do whatever I want. I can. I can make people, buildings, anything disappear.
Interesting. And you feel like a little remorseful when you make them disappear? When you go like, "You're not playing ball with me. You're not taking me on the journey to find the dream guru."
Well, no, I don't do it out of spite. Just they go somewhere else. I don't know where they go, but it's my dream.
like
God,
this.
yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've been thinking about it a lot, and because I was talking to you off air, and I started talking to you about this like succubi thing that I think exists within my dreams. That conversation that I had with you actually went home and had that conversation with my wife and you know, she found it fascinating, and I think that it's a thing that I got to deal with. But when I was telling you, I think I have these like succubi visitations. You said lucid dream and set it on fire is what you said to me, which is an interesting solution. One I hadn't considered, but I don't know, Nance, if I'm ready to go into the dream realm and start controlling my dreams. It just seems sketchy. And when I said that, you said, "No, it's not sketchy." And then I asked you about a specific thing. I said, "What about the idea that you would get stuck there?" And when I said that, you were like, "Oh yeah, dude, totally. That's happened to me before, where you're dreaming and then you think you've woken up, and then you're still dreaming, and then you think you've woken up, and then you get stuck in this endless nightmarish loop of not being able to escape the dream realm and come back to reality."
That's the worst. Yeah.
No, whoop my baby mama so ass. I do not have nocturnal emissions. I just am constantly, not constantly, but like often enough, finding myself like in the chaos and the strangeness of a dream. But there will be like a woman there who is like mission driven to try to seduce me. But I'm like kind of retarded in my dream because it's like, you know, my oven is turning into a hot rod, and then I'm riding the hot rod like into the sun, and then all of a sudden I'm actually like in a library and I'm having a conversation about like how to do roofing the right way, and like what are some of the ways that you might mess up doing roofing. And then all of a sudden I'll look over and like there's like this woman who's like trying to lure me in. And then like I'll get kind of close, and then all of a sudden I'll have these feelings of like guilt and like, my wife, where's my wife? Like all kinds of things like that. And then as soon as that happens, I'll be like distracted again. You know, something's happening. There's an old friend. We're hanging out. We're talking. Da 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 da. The scenario changes. Next thing you know, I look over. This woman's still there, and she's once again like mission driven, trying to call me in.
Set her on fire.
Well, that's what you said, Nance. And I don't know. I mean, I was thinking maybe like deliverance might be might be a good thing. because this has been a long time, ever since childhood. This lady's been there, not like this specific lady, but this type of dream. But then again, what guy isn't having this kind of dream? I don't know. So maybe deliverance, maybe I lucid dream, maybe I set her on fire. I don't know, guys. If you have any thoughts on that, chat, I'd be open to hearing about them. So let's see what we got here. We're gonna check out some donations, and then we're going to get into viewer submitted voicemails, and then we'll open up the lines. Okay, so let's check it out. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see it there at David Corbo 7 on PayPal, on Venmo, and $ David Corbo on Cash App. I see we have some Venmo donations. Let's check in with those. I got to write these down. Hold on. Oh, goodness. I got to leave this book here. All right. I got my handy dandy notebook and a pen. So what do we got? Thank you, Atma, for the $5.44 donation. I don't have any buttons. Let's write that down. Boop. $5.44. It says, you're fun to hang with. Have some money. Word Venmo won't let me say. We could all use our imaginations as to what that word is. Thank you very much, Atma. And then let's go check out Cash App. Boom. And then I know we got some voice memos left over. I think some came in this morning. Guys, that phone number is 321-209-8551. If you want to call and leave a voicemail now, you can do that. Otherwise, when we open the lines, you guys can call. But in the meantime, the lines are closed, but you can leave a voice memo. That's 321-209-8551. All right, nothing there. We're going to check PayPal. And, I got to check and see if there's any Rumble rants. I've been neglecting that front. Hold on a second, guys. This is the slow-going part of the show because multitasking is not my strong point. Okay, hold on. Here we go. We're going to click on Rumble. We're gonna do this. You think I would have all this stuff prepared? Not very good at that. I'm looking forward to the latter half of the day. We're gonna be talking to Donut, and specifically, what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about the film Weapons. And Donut has done quite the deep dive on it, and I got some information kicking around in my head, and so it should be a fun conversation. This is good, but it's so bad for me. So thank you, Mason, once again. It's just sugar and ice, which is great. No, looks like that's it. I understand, guys. It's not a good show. I don't blame you for not donating. Let's see if we can get into some of these voice memos. Where am I? How do I do this? Boom. Nope. Where am I? I got so many tabs, guys. Not good at this. Donut and coffee. I would love to have, and we will have Donut IRL in the studio soon when he gets down here. I think he'll probably be here for Bohemian Grove. So if you guys are here, especially for the VIP day, and we're looking to release tickets pretty soon, you'll be able to hang out. You know, all these guys will be walking around here. I think what we're looking at is I want to try to get Jay Dyer, his wife Jamie Dyer. I want to get Sam Hyde. Frank from Quite Frankly will be down here. Obviously, we'll have Matt and we'll have Ed Mabry. And, you know, a lot of these guys like Doc, Prometheus Lens, Brad of the Awakened podcast, Steven of Biblical Hitmen, they're all going to be here. We're going to invite as many people as we can to come and hang. But as far as performances, we're trying to do something really special this year. So it should be a banger. Yes, I would like Crack Amico to come and perform. That would be... how did that get up there? Oh, I've been PP'd. Very nice. Thank you very much. Let's check it out real quick before we move on. Refresh, you stupid shit. Thank you very much, Kate, Anti-Species. Hope everything's well. I know you said that you weren't going to be able to chat today, and yet here you are. Why won't you tell me my activity so I can see if this is... Okay, here we go. It just says thank you for the $5 donation. Then an additional $2 donation. We have an update on Kate's sleep paralysis, or not sleep paralysis, sleepwalking situation. Some of you might remember Kate from her stories on NDS Chronicles. Really heavy stuff. She says the last sleep thing I did was eat multiple chocolate chip cookies. Well, that's not so bad. That's not so bad. Not good if you're trying to be keto. But Kate doesn't look like she has a weight problem. So maybe not such a bad thing that you're having a sleep eating chocolate chip cookies. Could be worse. I mean, we've seen some videos, and it definitely does get worse. So I'm glad, Kate, that it's just cookies. That's nice. And I'm glad that you're hanging out and talking, because I remember you said you were going to be busy. You probably weren't going to be able to be in the chat. But here you are. Just at work, I snuck to the bathroom to pee. Thank you, Kate. I appreciate it. All right. Yeah, Scott says sleep eating chocolate chip cookies is a normal weekday for David. I mean, that would really... I may have gotten... This is embarrassing. I may have purchased chocolate chip cookies recently, Chips Ahoy, with white chocolate chunks in it. I may have given my son one cookie, and I may have eaten the entire package myself in under an hour.
You're a monster.
Yeah. Yeah. The look on my wife's face was a mixture of disapproval, disgust, but also impressed. I think she was impressed. And I'll tell you what, I don't feel an ounce of shame.
You should.
Well, maybe I should. Got myself a half gallon of milk. Got myself a full thing of cookies. Oh. There she is. There she is. I disagree, Q. Chips Ahoy suck butt. I mean, what's better? What's better, what's a better option? Not a big fan of Oreos. I'm going to be honest. Not a big fan of Oreos. They're all right. But they also have like the Leviathan cross on them. Isn't that weird? This is a problem. I've not had any food. I was fasting. And then Mason with an EIGHSON bought me this sugary drink. Alrighty. Oreos take it too far. I mean, if I'm going to have Oreos, I'm going to eat double stuffed, because I ain't no bitch. What my baby mama hoe ass says, I don't eat cookies. I binge Blue Bell ice cream. Okay, fancy. I do like, and this is a well-known fact. A lot of the audience knows this. I do like fish food, Ben and Jerry's. And I know Ben and Jerry's are for the gays now, or whatever. I don't know what their big trespassing was. They made an LGBTQ flavor, something like that. But I do like...
They're allegedly communists.
Are they?
Yeah.
Fuck them. I like fish food ice cream. It's really good. Liberty Before Authority says, when are you guys going to get Nathan Reynolds on? The Confessionals Bloodlines of Monsters episode 665 was insane. Well, I don't believe Nathan Reynolds. That's right. I said it. I don't believe him. It's a weird guy, the way that he presents things. It's not that I don't believe the stories are real. I just don't believe that I almost feel like he channels the stories, or he's been told the stories, or he's getting them in downloads. Because we almost called on Timeline Cleanse the church in Arizona, I think it was, wherever the hell it was, where he claimed to have tossed the severed heads of his assassinated victims,
Lake Havasu, at the feet of his, the pastor who commissioned him to go do whatever, the
the head of the church who commissioned me to go and do this thing. And my thing with Nathan Reynolds is I cannot accept that you are an assassin. I would need you to fight me. That's what I would need. And I'm only 5'7", 170 pounds. I got maybe 172. I'm a little overweight right now. Really think I would like to be around 165. It's when I look the best. So it shouldn't be a problem. But if I could fuck up Nathan Reynolds, and I feel pretty confident that I could, then I simply cannot accept that he is a assassin for a royal bloodline. Zippity zap, boobity boo. I'm much more inclined because I look at the stories and I go, very compelling. The information is interesting to me. I'm not going to deny that. But it feels as though he's telling somebody else's story. And so I have no interest in having that's not my wife, all right? She's not a Patreon enjoyer. She won't download the Patreon app. She says it's too convoluted. I don't want to do all that. But yeah, I just won't buy it. I won't buy it. There's some interesting things he has to say. I will admit that. But no reason for me to talk to him. He's already got his story out. He's a big deal. He's on the confessionals. You can go hear his story. But as for me and mine, we'll not be talking to Nathan Reynolds. Not unless he agrees to an MMA match first. There's a gym down the street, which, by the way, I'm thinking about throwing the towel in and just going. It's a little bit further than I wanted. I've not heard very good things about it, but whatever. Maybe we'll go and do that. Well, this is the thing. So Liberty Before Authority says, yikes, dude endured unimaginable shit. Maybe. What are you doing, Mason? Get out of here, Mason. Hour 45 minutes. She just wants to be on the camera so bad. It's not good for her, guys. I don't think it's good for her. Yeah, I mean, I could be wrong, Liberty, right? Who am I? I'm just a dumb podcasting faggot, but it's just this feeling that I get where I go, no. And maybe unimaginable things have happened to him. That's true to potentially. I'm not saying bad things haven't happened to him. In fact, to me, it seems like if you went through a lot of childhood trauma and maybe like satanic ritual abuse trauma, that it might open your mind up to being more receptive to these entities, thereby increasing the likelihood that you would channel this sort of information. There's a lot of things that are really interesting to me up until the point where you tell me you've killed people. Huh? Right up until the point where you tell me you've killed people. Number one, you're on one of the biggest podcasts in the world telling me you've killed people. You've decapitated people. You're wearing a sheepskin vest. You haven't cut your hair or beard in years, it seems. And the cadence with which you speak is that of a, I don't know, if The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe had a narrator. You know what I mean? Like, it's like he speaks as if he is doing a read. He's trying to be casted. But I'm in yikes territory because I look at you when you say you killed people and I go, and I give you the Matt face. You killed people? I don't think so. That's just me. All right. We're going to play some voice memos. We're going to open these lines. Boop, 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 boop. I'm all messed up now from the sugar. Share this tab. And This is still on here. Okay, great. So we can play this. Let's go. Beep.
Hey, white guy calling no racist jokes. Hey, you had a guest the other day talking about his dream and all this stuff, and he said, in the name Jesus Christ. You might want to let these idiots know that Jesus Christ isn't a name. It's Jesus the Christ. Christ isn't a last name. So some of these guys on here, they just spout it.
Oh, wait, let me make sure. Are we even hearing this, guys? Or am I just smiling at some shit that you can't hear?
We can hear it.
Okay, thank God. I thought I was doing that thing again where I play some shit and I smile and everybody laughs at me because you can't see or hear what I'm... It's nightmare shit. I'm scarred. Okay, let's let it keep going.
Ask all your guests who's a Christian what the gospel is. Bet 99% of them don't even know. It's 1 Corinthians 15, verse 1 through 4. I want to say a black joke right now, but, peace out, guys.
Well, I appreciate your restraint, and that's an interesting point. It's Jesus the Christ, not Jesus Christ. So, this kind of goes back to a conversation I had on X where people were saying that it's Yeshua, not Jesus, and I thought that was interesting because I don't know if that matters. Hold on. 1 Corinthians 15 through 4. Wait. Let me pull it back to what he said real quick because the transcribe isn't doing us any justice.
Bet 99% of them don't even know. It's 1 Corinthians 15, verse 1 through 4.
Okay, 1 Corinthians 15, verse 1 through 4. Let's put that up. Boom. And 15. And let's go ahead and read what this says, and then I'll say what I was going to say. Verse 1 through 4. I hope this is the right one. Now, brothers and sisters, I want to remind you of the gospel I preached to you, which you received, and on which you have taken your stand. By this gospel you are saved if you hold firmly to the word I preached to you. Otherwise, you have believed in vain. So adherence to the gospel, otherwise you have believed in vain. For what I received, I passed on to you as of first importance, that Christ died for our sins according to the scriptures, that he was buried, that he was raised on the third day according to the scriptures, and that's the end of that. Okay, yeah. So well, it seems like a small deviation. David pulling up his Blue Letter Bible. No, I'm not doing that. But I don't even know what that is. It's I don't know what website I pulled up. So, this feels very similar to the whole Yeshua, not Jesus thing. And which I said, I think intent has a great deal to do with it, because in my times of sort of supernatural hardship, when I've had to call in the name of Jesus Christ, it didn't seem to matter if it was Yeshua or Jesus. I think he knew who I was talking to. And in terms of being renewed in Christ, it doesn't seem to matter if it is Jesus or Yeshua or Jesus the Christ, because I've been talking to and praying to the Father in the name of Jesus Christ. And even people are like, I don't know if that's the way you do it. I think it's all about intent, because I can see the ways in which God is working on me. It's very obvious. I'm not saying to the audience it's obvious. I'm saying in my own life it's obvious. So I have the ability to stop these, strange supernatural encounters through the name of Jesus Christ. And then I can see the way that God has been sort of steering my life and steering even this show and all these different things. And so in that way, it seems very clear to me that, like, the intent is what's really important. I think God has a lot of forgiveness. And if I'm too stupid to understand that it's actually Yeshua, or if I'm too stupid to understand that it's actually the Christ and not Jesus Christ or something of that effect, it almost feels as though God is like, you know, if your heart is in alignment, if you believe that Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior, if you believe that he's the path, and you're asking for his presence in your life and you're trying to have a relationship with him, well, then it works out. So, you know, bring back the wet mouth. How dare you? So, yeah, I don't know if these sorts of things, you know, Top apparently is arguing with the Catholics and on Twitter. And I don't even think that you need to argue with the Catholics. I think they're just fine, you know. There's probably some things that I might disagree with, but who am I? I'm kind of an idiot. So the idea that, but what I will say is like a lot of these people that he's interacting with are into sort of intellectualizing scripture. They're into, I just wonder if there's a point of diminishing returns where it's like you're so into scripture, you're so well read, you're so into the information, one thing or another, but do you have a relationship? And that seems to be what a lot of people are almost like deviating on. Yeshua is what his friends and followers called him in his time. So that's what I lean towards. Yeah, and I think that's fair if that works for you. But like I said, I've never used the expression or the name Yeshua. I've also never said Jesus the Christ. But just given what's happening and unfolding in my life and the ways that I've been changed, and also, you know, given those kind of supernatural experiences, it seems glaringly obvious to me that intent is really the important thing there. Oh, you know, maybe I'm retarded. Matt just dropping in. Okay, where's my cursor at? I can't see anything. Let's play another voice memo. Thank you for the call. I wish you left your name. Guys, don't be afraid to leave your names. Let's go. Let's do this. We're going to press another one.
Okay, I don't want to take up the second half of your show, so I'm just going to leave a voicemail. As far as the rage goes, your rage...
This sounds like, this might be Emily Pareca. Shout out to the Parecas.
Rage towards others. This is the magic trick, all right? It's super simple. Lord Jesus Christ, have mercy on me, a sinner. Because when you put those words out of your mouth, you put yourself in the position to say, hey, I'm kind of a sack of shit. I'm kind of annoying, a little frustrating, a little disappointing to God Almighty. So maybe this meat sack in front of me should be given the same grace that I have been given by God Almighty. So Lord Jesus Christ, have mercy on me, a sinner, is the immediate solution to your rage. I don't care who you're mad at. I don't care what you're mad about. Lord Jesus Christ, have mercy on me, a sinner, brings you back to, I too am piece of shit. I too make others angry. I too cause the disappoint. Okay? I love you guys. Bye.
I think that's a banger. Yeah, I mean, think about that. If you are, this goes back to ANCAP Grizzlies. Did anybody hear that? Did that work? This goes back to ANCAP Grizzlies' question, where he's asking, I think he said Christian Twitter, you know, what he should do about his anger, which he succumbs to quite often, and it's a real problem in his life, et cetera, et cetera. And I said it's a decision, but I think if that was Emily, Emily's solution is better than mine, because I think saying that, as long as you have that frame of reference, which it should be, you know, like, hey, have mercy on me. I'm a sinner. I'm a retard. I'm a big old piece of shit. I'm trying, but God has grace and mercy on me. God is willing to forgive me. And if he's willing to do that, it's like, you know, he saved a wretch like me. Then surely this other person deserves that. And if that's your frame of mind when you're saying that, I think that does immediately kind of extinguish it. Where instead of looking at this other person or this other situation, but you know, what might be a little bit different here, Em, is like, what if he's not mad at an individual, which I wholeheartedly agree with what you're saying. It's like, if you're mad at an individual and then you realize, you know, God has had mercy even on you, a retard, then surely, you know, you should have the same thing for somebody else. But what if it's not a somebody else? What if it's a situational thing? The bills, my car, my job, my pussy. You know what I'm saying? Like I think a little bit of both. It's really a philosophical thing, right? because I'm just saying if you can't frame it as an individual who also deserves mercy and grace because you have been given mercy and grace, even though, in a lot of instances, it could be argued that you don't deserve it. You know what I mean? So, I guess that might be true. Humans make whatever situation you're mad at. Sure. Yeah, I think that's a great solution. That's probably the solution. Emily says, or don't and whine. I don't care, to be honest. Yeah, I don't like the whining, though. It's very off-putting. I was not supposed to drink this big sugary drink. It is delicious. Ooh, Liberty Before Authority says, can we get, good call, Nancy, can we get Toad on Love on the Spectrum already? What the fuck is taking so long? He tried. There was a time where he tried. I forget what the reason was. He thought he screwed up. I think he just never got around to even pitching himself. I think all he did was send them a video talking about how many consecutive Halloween costume competitions he won at his job. And to be perfectly honest, I'm pretty sure the Heil Hitler song really put a dampening on any chances. Yeah, he was too retarded. Too retarded for love on the spectrum. Too retarded for love on the spectrum. Okay, guys, we're going to open the lines. We got some time. We'll take some calls, maybe about a half an hour more. And then I got to skedaddle, got to go to the gym, and then come back and do this thing. The lines are now open. What's our phone number here? I'll read it off. If you want to call, say some stuff, now's your time. 321-209-8551. I really got to shut the hell up and get to this part of the show faster. I get super chatty. Super chatty. Yeah, I don't know. I'm waiting for Toad to come to Florida. And we're just kind of supposed to do this thing in November. So maybe we can get him down soon. But I really wanted to do just like this Toad week where he just sits in on everything. He could sit in on this show. Oh, got a call coming in. Let's take the call. Let's take the call. We're taking the call. Thank you for calling the Raven. This is the Raven. What's your name? Where are you from?
Yo, it's Julio. I'm from Connecticut, believe it or not.
Did you say Julio from Connecticut? You gotta shout a little bit too.
Yeah, dude, Connecticut. What's up?
What's going on, brother? What's the news in Connecticut?
Oh, dude, Connecticut is nothing more than a highway between Boston and New York, so you know nothing's going on.
It truly is.
Yeah, dude, there's nothing. Like even our Dave and Buster's is like the small ones. We have one Dave and Buster's, and it's a wicked small.
Are you at work? Do I hear your coworkers?
Yeah, I'm at a construction site.
Calling on the clock. I respect it.
Dude, of course. I got work in my hands. I'm doing all right.
All right, that's fine. So you got a headset in, you got headphones. You can still work and talk. I don't like when they try to get down on you and they go, no, don't do that. You're not allowed to have headphones in while you work. Like, what? What are you talking about?
Dude, we work on ceilings and we have these these bakers on wheels, and obviously we move a lot. There's some jobs that they don't let you scoot around. And I'm like, how much is this for a week? It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know what that is. It's just being a tyrant, I think. I go back and forth with that. It's like, during the lockdowns, a lot of people started working remotely. And then there was this idea It's time to come back to the office. It's time to come back to the cubicle. What about, the office life, the work life? And I go, what? How about if the job is getting done, leave people alone?
Dude, what part of the office did you even miss? Are you just lying to me, or you just want to get some weird stuff to tell me?
I think it's about giving these lower management people a job. You know what I mean? Like your job is to breathe down people's neck and micromanage. And I think it's about, justifying those positions.
Dude, imagine being the guy fighting for it. Like, dude, we got to get these guys back in the office. Oh, why? Well, because I need to yell at them. I don't know what Becky's doing. I don't know if Matt's wearing pants. It's really bothering me.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to be giving out write-ups. That's really what it is, because you think about that lower management thing. As soon as the employees are remote, I really struggle to see what your job is. If your job is just to make sure people are doing what they're supposed to be doing, but then you look at the results and they are doing what they're supposed to be doing, but they're no longer in the office, you don't have a job anymore.
Yeah, look, productivity is up, but write-ups are down, and I really don't like that.
That's it, man. That's it. So what's going on? You got anything cool to throw our way?
Yeah, let's see. I have a question. It's less conspiracy minded, but I heard that once you become a parent, which I'm a brand new parent of a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old.
Congratulations.
You start looking down at thank you. Be crushed. But once you become a parent, you start looking down at everybody you live with. Like if your coworker is telling me that they didn't get sleep, I know he has nothing to do. I'm like, dude, you don't know what no sleep is. Do you have that feeling?
Well, I so there's two things about it. I guess it's really just one thing. My ideas drastically changed after I became a parent. My ideas of what people should be allowed to engage in, what the world should look like, certainly changed after I was a parent. And I also started to look down on people that were probably just like me before I was in my 20s, where I was like, smoking a ton of weed, doing drugs, drinking, hanging outside of establishments, kind of on the corner. And I would think to myself, like, I'm not hurting anybody. But then as I got older, I started to look at people like that as sort of the backdrop to the place that I was raising my children. So even though they're not doing anything negative, it's like just seeing you, I feel like you should have some decency. You shouldn't be doing this sort of a thing. And like, I guess when I was younger, that didn't even dawn on me. And then in regards to decision making and ideas about what, how the world should be, when I was younger and I was childless, I had a bunch of ideas. And then I guess the cliche is true, which is, I'm not a politics guy, but it's like, when you're younger, you're more liberal. When you're older, you're more conservative. And it makes sense because once you have skin in the game, you have something to conserve. So in the strictest sense of conservation, in the sense of maintenance, in the sense of the environment that you're spending your time in, I started to become more invested in conserving that. And then I realized all the subtle ways in which people who were living like I live act as a corrosive agent on the thing that you seek to conserve, right? So it's like, even just by virtue of like being like, if you're the type of person where like I'm walking down the street and it's like it's legal, let's say potentially wherever you are, to smoke weed, but then I smell it, as somebody who used to smoke a lot of weed, if I smell it now as an adult and I'm walking with my kid, it's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, dude, my kids are here. Relax.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Or if you're a hussy, out there and you're letting your bags hang out, and now I'm walking down the street with my kid and your bags are hanging out, all kinds of stupid crap like that. And then, even loud and aggressive behavior that isn't necessarily showing me that you're going to have like violent intent is also something that I don't like, because now I have to clock you as an individual that I might have to navigate, or I might have to walk around you. I might have to cross the street because you're kind of loud and I don't know what that's going to lead to because I got my kid. You know what I mean? So it's like all sorts of stuff. So yeah, I don't like those people making decisions. That's for sure, because they don't have any skin in the game. They don't have anything worth conserving. If you're Hinchy, shout out to the Blats. If you're trying to affect, let's say, legislation, the future direction of a country or an area, whatever, but I cannot identify what you've invested in the future, I don't really value your opinion, and I don't know that it should be contributed. But it's like, once you have a kid, I know that you want something good for that kid, or there's a higher likelihood that you want to leave something better behind for that kid than what is now. So yeah, I think it's kind of a cliche, but it's true.
Yeah, having the skin in the game is huge. But hey, I'll jump onto the last thing, and I'll make this quick for other people. But we get into these conspiracies. What is the commonality between everybody that starts getting into them? because I used to think it was like morality, but there's immoral people that are into it. You know, I used to think that it was distrust, but there's also people who distrust that completely believe in the system completely. So I was wondering what you find in the commonality between people who actually, you know, see the system for what it is, in, you know, shitty ways.
Man, that's actually a kind of a hard question. So I agree with you where it's like this distrust used to be what I imagined the commonality was. But then when you see things like what we went through in 2020, where people who are instinctively distrustful all of a sudden trusted the experts, let's say. And I remember looking at people like, dude, like, you know a lot.
Yeah, you should know better.
Yeah, and so you can't even say it's like belief in a higher power either, because well, maybe that's
into it. They don't, you know?
Maybe it is belief in a higher power. That could be one of the commonalities, because a lot of people that are in this space do believe in something. It gets a little bit mixed up what they believe in. You know, they might believe in the Pleiadians or some goofy crap like that, but there's still this awareness that this game is not the main game, that there's a higher one taking place. So it could be that, you know, you might say skepticism, but that kind of just goes in alignment with distrust. Yeah, that's a hard one. I don't know. I mean, I would say that there's probably a mixture of elements, right? Belief in a higher power, a distrust or a skepticism could be one of them. But yeah, I don't think it's any one thing. I don't think it's one thing in particular.
Right. That's what I was coming down to. But hey, I'll let other people call and do their thing. It's been fun, and I'll call again. Well,
all right. Thank you, brother. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for calling.
All right, man. Take care. See you
later. Yeah, that whole having skin in the game thing is huge, though. Oh, here we go. We got another one already. Let's get to it. Where I can't see my cursor. Thank you for calling the Raven. This is the Raven. What's your name? Where are you from?
Dude, this is Austin, and I'm in Western North Carolina. How you doing, brother?
Austin in Western North Carolina. I'm doing well, man. How are you?
I just had to turn the machine off. I'm milling up some cedar logs to make a hay feeder for the goats and the cows, dude. Just farm stuff, man.
Very nice. I got to admit, Austin, I like, you know, doing this call-in show. I get to hear from a lot of people that are just working with their hands, and it's nice because I used to be that guy. You know what I mean? It wasn't long ago that I was doing similar stuff to you. So what's going on?
Yeah, man. Yeah, like I said, just going steady farm stuff. I'm a dangerous retard as well. I like to, you know, train, and I guess my main point would be is if anybody here has a way to make holes, they should probably carry a way to plug them. So if you don't have a tourniquet, you're gay. That's all.
Ooh, that's it. I never even thought about the holes. I mean, I put a lot of thought into how to make them, but not a whole lot of thought in how to. Man, you know, not far from here, Austin. Maybe, and I live in a nice area, but it was like 2 months ago or something. Some young guy who I was at a Bible study with. Shortly after the Bible study, his sister got shot, and it was so. We don't live in that kind of area at all. Somebody pulled up next to her, young girl, you know, maybe late teens or something, and for no reason at all, just let I think 6 fly, and I think only one of them or 2 of them hit her, but man,
that's insane. Well, I guess yes, you know, as far as like if it's a femoral bleed, you can watch somebody bleed out in front of you, or you can save their life, you know? So, and you don't really want to be improvising when seconds count, right? Everyone's like, I can use my belt. It's like, okay, do you want to improvise while your hands are shaking and someone's blood is all over you? No, just carry a tourniquet, bro. Refuge Medical. I don't know if you know about Bear Independent, but he's been doing, you know, not just prepper, homesteading, but also, you know, he's a pastor too. He's legit, but he's who trained me to how to use the tourniquet. But you can just look it up on YouTube. Look up his how to use it. But it's like $30. Just carry it on you, man. The most dangerous thing you do in your life is drive a car. So that being said, you could save someone's life or your own. I keep one up on the visor in case your legs are crushed. You know, have some basic medical stuff and know how to use it. That would be what I would impart to you guys today.
That's great. That's a great piece of advice, Austin, because it's like the gun community is so big, and that's fine. But there's always talk, and we'll engage in it on the show or the channel. It's like, what's your conceal and carry? Da da da. This is what I've got SIG. I've got Glock. Da da da. And there's all this conversation around. Doesn't really come up as often. Just from where I'm sitting, I don't see that in the chat. I don't see that on the social media platforms that I'm on. It definitely couldn't hurt. I've spent $30 on dumber shit than that.
100%. Yeah, and that's where it's let's train for the preservation of life, right?
Yeah.
And you could spend an hour listening to how to use this stuff. When do you need wound packing? Like if it's a junctional area, you have to wound pack, right? But if it's an extremity, you have to use a tourniquet. And then after you use your tourniquet, you can address the wound. But it's nuanced. It's stuff that I encourage everybody to know. Hopefully you never have to use it, but know how to save someone's life, because it's I believe it's the third leading cause of death is blood loss. It might even, I don't want to misspeak on that, but it can be very serious, Train for the preservation of life, train to be able to protect and save the people you love, and then, go from there. In my pockets right now, I've got a tourniquet, I've got a quick clot, I've got a trauma dressing, I've got some gloves in case I've got to touch someone else's blood, and all that shit doesn't weigh much. I forget it's there, but yeah, man, if you got a way to make holes, if you carry a cordless hole puncher on you, you should be able to plug those holes.
That's a great, even just the perspective of preservation of life, right? I mean, instead of being of the mindset of how am I going to take one, which I know isn't, that's not the point. The point is to protect yourself and protect the people that you love and everything. But, it is this parallel conversation to how am I going to take one. So it's refreshing to hear somebody talk about how you're going to preserve one. That's huge. And I mean, any opportunity to be the person that helps somebody in a horrifying time like that is an opportunity that you should be not excited, but maybe that's the wrong word, but it's an important step to take, and it's the right thing to do. So yeah, I mean, that's great advice. Refuge Medical.
Yeah. So Refuge Medical is run by Bear Independent. And even if if I haven't sold you on why to just carry the medical supplies, it's all going to an incredible cause. The two nonprofits that he runs, Caleb House and Grindstone Ministries. Grindstone Ministries responds, if there's a natural disaster and someone who didn't know where they were going to get their next meal had a fucking tree fall on their house, they go in, they do it all for free. Their love language is diesel fuel and oil, right? And they will literally go in, do it all for free, and they're incredible people. Even better is Caleb House. There are children who get rescued from human trafficking, but a lot of them get looped back into it because of our shitty system, and they just get swept under the rug. Anytime that they actively do the cool guy stuff and kick in doors and help kids, but they also give them a forever home, right? They have two people, and they give you a house to stay in, a family, and you never have to leave. And it really is inspired by the spirit, man. It's incredible. So even if you don't think it's important enough to just have a tourniquet, a part of that is supporting what this guy is doing. There's only about 2 real role models I would say I have in the world, other than like the creator of everything coming down, right? I'm not trying to go there. I'm saying like manly role models, and that's kind of where I got some of this from. Train for the preservation of life. He's all about the guns, but he's also about the medical training. And we should,
What's his name? His name is
start
Bear?
Getting more of a balance. Yeah, Bear Independent.
Bear Independent. Okay, Bear Independent and Refuge Medical.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, and so they sell full bleed kits. I'm not trying to step on it. They sell
go ahead.
full bleed out kits. All of that stuff. It's going to an incredible cause. And if you feel led, go check out what they do with the nonprofit. Everything's transparent that they can do, because some of it has to be at discretion, given what the severity of what some of these children go through.
Sure.
But that being said, I mean, get the medical supplies. Go check out, see what he does. If you feel led, give him some money, man. There's nothing wrong with that. And let not your left hand know what your right hand did. Don't go bragging and telling everybody. Just do something nice and move on with your day. Store your treasures in heaven, brother.
Very cool, Austin. That's a lot of good stuff. Refuge Medical Bear Independent. I'm gonna look into them. Maybe there's something to do there. At the very least, toss some money their way and support them, and also gain the ability to preserve life. I think that's huge. Well, thank you, Austin. I appreciate the call. I appreciate the nature of the call. Didn't expect that, and it's good information and it's a good message. So thank you very much, Austin.
Yeah, brother. It was a pleasure talking to you. You have a great day.
You too. Catch you later. Oh, that was nice. Refuge Medical Bear Independent. I'm gonna look into that. That's a good idea. I don't know. It's just this idea of like the preservation of life. Not one topic that comes up often. Like I said, most of the time it's like, oh, I got an extended magazine or whatever. This is my new concealment. It's like a lot of this stuff. I'm not saying that the point is to talk about taking a life. And I understand gun culture and everything like that. But like, not a conversation that gets brought up nearly as much as it should. Nearly as much as it should. That's fantastic. All right, we got some time. Maybe we'll take a call or two more, depending on the length of them, as it's getting a little bit late. What time is it now? 11:20 over here, and I gotta hit the gym. Gotta be back in here. What is that snake on your arm? Never noticed it before. It's just a stupid, shitty tattoo I got put on myself a long time ago. And then I have a Trinity, interestingly enough. I think it might have been my first tattoo. No, my second tattoo. When I was homeless, I stick and poked that. That's why it looks so atrocious. I stick and poked that on myself. And it was actually during a time where I was going through like a real kind of, it's dark, it's heavy, spiritually difficult time. And I got this compulsion. I was not Christian or anything like that. Conspiracy theorist, yes. Christian, no. I had a book of symbols and their meanings because I was into conspiracies and all that kind of esoteric crap. And I was looking for something to put on myself that I thought would, I don't know, something that would inspire hope. And one thing led to another, and I found this idea of the Trinity. And what I used to say was like it means like a balance, like mind, body, and soul, and that you're supposed to keep all these things in balance. I don't know what the hell I was talking about. But I made a tattoo gun out of a guitar string, the body of a pen, and a D battery, and the inner wheel of a CD player, like a Walkman. And I just traced it with some marker, and I put it on myself. And I actually had to go over it a number of years later. I went too deep. So there's actually like a bit of a sunken area on it because of how deep that I went. I don't know what the hell I was doing. And then years later, I would go and get it touched up a little bit by an actual, and they did the best they could. I didn't give them a lot to work with. So, such a tweaker thing to do. Very tweaker. Yes. It was very tweaker. Honestly, the tattoo gun was cooler than the tattoo. The tattoo was rough. All right, guys, we got no more calls coming in. I'm going to go ahead and shut the lines down. And Do Not Disturb is on. That's officially it. I promise next time I'll get to the caller segment a little bit sooner. Very chatty today. I'm chatty every day. I swear, even on Timeline Cleanse, it was like, I swear I'm going to get to the content sooner. It's really something that I got to dial in. Thanks for the Raven lore. I mean, it's, you could guarantee it that most of the time Raven lore is going to be dumb as shit. Raven get a lobster tat and Top get a Raven chat. Oh, God. Could anything be gayer? Could anything be gayer? Shouldn't give Matt such a hard time, to be honest. Well, you know, we have to. We have to give him a hard time because he's very likable. And the dangerous retards, the body of dangerous retards are really taking to Matt. And I don't want him to know how well liked he is. And so I have to keep him down. I have to keep him down. Guys, we'll be back at 2 p.m. with Donut. What up, Donut? And then you look forward to the next The Raven, our call-in show. That'll be Wednesday night at 7 p.m. We just hit daylight savings, so it'll actually be dark. Get a Matt tat with 3 T's. Guys, everybody, I see that you're saying that you love Matt, but I got to admit you're spelling it wrong. Pretty much everybody's missing a T. Scott says holy kisses are not gay. The jury's still out, Scott. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for hanging and being here. I appreciate it. I know it's a little bit of a chaotic show. It always means a lot that you guys show up. Matt should only be allowed to do a podcast with the glasses on. I think so. I can hear Matt outside the door. He's telling Mason what he doesn't like. Guys, also, by the way, we had Mason talking for the first half of the show. I really think she needs some advice. I think Mason needs some advice, guys. So NephilimDsquad@gmail.com. Make sure you put in the subject line advice for Mason because I'm really worried about her. She's got a lot of rage in her. And it's a young person's game, road rage. It's not going to end well. So if you're looking to reprimand her, if you're looking to give a young goofball some advice, that's the place to do it. Oh my God, hi JC. Let me check. I don't know. I didn't even forgot any Rebel rants. I checked before. We only had the one. Looks like JC. Thank you for the $10 donation, JC. Meet me, Nancy, and the others this January in Phoenix. Go to ascon.baby for details. Is that right? Is that true? Ascon.baby. Let's toss the $10 up there, and we'll do ascon.baby. I don't think that's a domain name. But I know how to find out more details. It's going to be Asbutt, the piano connoisseur, the phenom in Phoenix. Interesting. This January. What do you want, Matt? You stop. Okay. Let me get back to this thing so I can see. Thank you very much, JC. Kate, is this true? Hey, Mason. Mason's on the thing. It's fine. She's actually working. And this is huge, though. I mean, this is... I hate this for you. But it's important to read. Kate, anti-speciesist. Is that a cat on your chest? My rage got my face beat in by a full-grown man. Women need to understand they are weaker. The weaker gender. It's not smart to play with fire. She said... I was horrified listening to her road rage issues. I pray she's safe and can get a hold of her anger. Agreed. Mason's a young and silly gal. Could use some advice from the dangerous retards. If you find some time and you have maybe a road rage story you'd like to share, and I'll read it to her on air, NephilimDsquad@gmail.com. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. And I will see you in a couple of hours. Bye, guys.